Good morning, Bitcoin investors. It is just after 2 a.m. London time on Friday, the 13th of October 2017. Friday the 13th. Is it a day of reckoning for Bitcoin, I ask you? Well, if you wanted to climb aboard the gravy train, don't you dare say I didn't warn you. In my last update, I said we're in bull territory. It's not in my character to gloat, but today Bitcoin was rifling through the knicker drawers of 5,300 USD and above. And as I speak, it's starting to climb again. A lofty move into lofty heights. But what does it all mean? And where is Bitcoin going next? It seems every analyst and their dog has an opinion as to why. Some, like investing.com, speculating that price surged due to some reports that say the Chinese government could reverse its decision to ban Chinese exchanges by enforcing some new licensing and anti-money laundering regulations on them. Maybe, I don't think so. Others saying that a few investors believe Putin can really implement any stringent Russian regulation over the currency. Well, I mean, that's not going to make the price go up like this though, is it? Others say it's because huge online retailers like Amazon will soon be accepting Bitcoin as early as the 26th of October later this month, although that news is a few weeks old. Others think it's because Japanese are opening more exchanges and encouraging trading in the currency and investors flocking to it. Well, I suppose, it can be a combination of all of those reasons. But here's the thing. Here's what I think. And as I'm sure many of you know, Bitcoin's blockchain is going to fork in less than 2 weeks' time. I think around about October 25th, give or take a day or two. It probably will be October 25th, though. When that happens, providing you own or control your private keys, you will have access to just as much Bitcoin Gold as you will have Bitcoin right now. Is this free money? Well, they like to say it isn't, but actually it is, because although anyone can fork Bitcoin at any time, if miners in the community aren't behind it, it's worthless, of course, so it doesn't matter. Duplicating or forking the blockchain behind Bitcoin isn't necessarily creating free money, unless there are big people behind that fork. And the point I'm making is that this is a planned fork by some very large players in the Bitcoin higher echelon, higher circle of investors, the Bitcoin community's major players, big investment banks and everything, all behind this. And so I think that some large hedge funds are possibly behind these steep rises in the value today, October 12th, or rather yesterday, October 12th, possibly right up to the fork itself. We're going to continue seeing these rises. Personally, as a Forex signal provider who's been reading charts for about 15 years now and helping you guys make some money, I could look at these charts for Bitcoin and tell you, to me, it looks way overbought, and under normal conditions, I'd be saying short it, first chance you get. But really, I can't give you that advice right now because we're in unfamiliar territory. I get this feeling, this kind of feeling inside me that there's more behind this Bitcoin gold fork that meets the eye. I mean, we've only been here once before a few months back with another community-backed fork to Bitcoin Cash. That was a soft fork, meaning they could have rolled it back. But you can see what's happened. Even though Bitcoin Cash hasn't done amazingly well, everyone back then on August 1st who had Bitcoin at the time of the fork were automatically given the same amount in Bitcoin Cash. Quite a nice little earner, you might say. And if Bitcoin Gold is, as I suspect it will be, have some serious backers with inside info, you can perhaps understand why Bitcoin is getting this very bullish rise, as investors will undoubtedly hold onto it until after the fork at least, to be able to grab the same amount of Bitcoin Gold as they do Bitcoin Core, if you like. I mean, Bitcoin as we know it now obviously will continue, same community, same miners, etc. So, you know, you may not notice any dip at all afterwards. But for this reason, my personal prediction is that you aren't going to see any heavy downward correction in Bitcoin right now, because investors will be holding on to their Bitcoin for this fork. In fact, you may see, Bitcoin continue upward to dizzying heights. However, what I can't predict is what's going to happen immediately after that first fork. You could see a very sharp correction at that point, so do be prepared for it. There is another hard fork next month towards the end of November, which is the Cedric 2 fork. More on that in another video. But my advice is to hold on to the Bitcoin you have right now, if you dare to. I'm going to ride it out without adding to my position for a bit, unless we get a nice correction, which I don't really see, but we might. Do be careful out there. The bulls are charging. Have a great weekend, and let's catch up again next week.